All right, what's up, YouTube? It is November 3rd. Still, it's 10:20 p.m. here on the East Coast, and we have some updates rolling in. Everything looks as expected so far in the race. I'm trying to pull up multiple websites. I can't show it all, but I do have them on my iPad here. Fox News, CNBC, CNN, MSNBC, and 3 or 4 other sites, just to make sure we have a complete coverage of it. And pretty much all the states that were supposed to win for the candidates so far have won, and we have a few battlegrounds that are really close or close to reporting. So far we're going to run, I want to run through the states that have already been either called or are obvious winners right now. It's showing 129 Biden, 109 Trump. But we'll start with the alphabetical. I'll just go through them in alphabetical order, and I'm waiting for Fox News. They have a rotating one at the bottom of the screen. If you go to foxnews.com, no one else has this. So let's let it roll through to the A's, and then it's almost there, and then we will see just what we have from Fox News. As far as states that they have announced as winners. Alabama, Trump, huge, 50% in, 63-35 Trump. Trump in Arizona, maybe. How do we see, can we just click on this and like see a whole list here? Just give me a second. Looks like it resets whenever I refresh it. Does somebody have the list here? Is there a way to see, like, just give me a second, bear with just a second. Okay, so we have an Alabama, obviously Trump, DC for Biden, Florida, Trump's up big, Georgia up big for Trump, Biden in Illinois, Kansas, Trump, Kentucky, Trump, Louisiana, Trump, Maine, Maryland, and Massachusetts, all Biden. Michigan, still too early, Minnesota, too early, Mississippi, Missouri, Trump, Nebraska, and it looks like New Hampshire going to be Biden, Jersey, Biden, New York, Biden, North Carolina, too close, North Dakota, Trump, Oklahoma, Trump, Rhode Island, Biden, South Carolina, Trump, Pennsylvania, and Ohio, too close, South Dakota, Trump, Tennessee, Trump, Texas, Trump is up by almost 3% with 70% in. So looking good for Trump in Texas. West Virginia, Trump, Wyoming, Trump, Wisconsin, Trump with 40% in is up by 5%. So Wisconsin looking good. Alabama, Arkansas, both Trump. Connecticut, Delaware, Colorado, Biden, all expected. Florida up by almost 4% with 91% in, Trump winning that. Kansas, Trump winning. Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, all Biden. So all expected across the board there. Michigan, too early, but Trump up big with 35%. Trump losing in Minnesota, but too early. Virginia is the one that I see. North Carolina, a dead heat, but Trump up by a very small percentage. New York, Biden, of course. And then we have Rhode Island, Biden, South Carolina, Trump, Pennsylvania, too close to call, but Trump ahead. Virginia, they've got Biden down by 8%, but checkmarked is winning. I don't think Biden has won Virginia. I think Biden is behind. West Virginia, Trump has won, and Trump up big in Wisconsin and Wyoming, both winners. So I think Virginia is still in play here. Colorado out of reach, that's Biden's. Florida looking out of reach for Biden. It looked like Trump's going to win that one, and Indiana, Trump as well. Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, all Trump. So when this cycles back through, Mississippi, Missouri, both Trump, Montana, Trump losing, he should win that, and Nebraska, Trump winning. So here is our North Carolina, Trump up by 0.8% with 91% in. Trump looking like a North Carolina win. Trump up by 7% in Pennsylvania with 30% in. That's huge, because all the big cities have reported. Texas up 4.5% for Trump with 70% in. And Virginia, Trump leading by over 7% with 30% in. I don't think Virginia's a done deal. If Trump holds on to what looks like Florida, Texas, Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania right now, it's over. Biden would be a loser there without any other states turning. So it is really big. The Michigan poll is now 61% towards Trump, Arizona, 80% for Trump, and the national poll leading 60% towards Biden, but it was at 70% just a few minutes ago. So let's check over on CNN, who is more realistically leaning towards Biden. CNN always Democratic, of course. From a lawyer buddy in Virginia counts the heavily populated Democratic areas very late. Typically, the early voting and the mail-in votes go to Democrats first and the Republicans later. So Virginia might be different, and that's a good one, ulterior motive. So let's see if I can't scroll across here to get to some of the other states here. Michigan, Trump currently up by 13%, 13.3%, 40% in. That's huge. In Michigan, he's winning big. In Arizona, he's losing 75% in. He's down by 8%. So it looks like Arizona might be Biden state. But with the other states, Georgia and North Carolina and Florida and Texas all going Trump, which it looks like it is, that Arizona won't really matter. And Michigan. I'm trying to find the Pennsylvania one right now. Just give me a second here. Arizona, Georgia. Trump's up by 12.5% with 60% of the vote in. Ohio, Trump currently up by 5% exactly with 75%. That's huge. North Carolina, he's up by 0.8% with 90% in. So still a toss-up in North Carolina. Florida, he's up by 3.4% with 95% in. It's 200,000 votes. Doubtful Biden can overcome that. Pennsylvania, Trump up by 7.6% with only 35% of the vote in. So that is overcomable for Biden. Pennsylvania too early. Texas, Trump up by 3.4% with 80%, almost 300,000 votes, probably unattainable for Biden. Virginia, Trump up by 7.4% with 55% in. I'm going to call that Trump's going to win Virginia, and it's going to be a surprise. California, 0% in. So looks like California is just now, polls are closed, right? In California, it's 7:30 out there. So they're closed. North Carolina, really closed. Georgia, looks like Texas, Georgia, Florida, and Michigan all out of reach for Biden. And then I can't see the rest on that one. So yeah, the Democrats are doing really good in the congressional House. They're doing really well in, but it looks like Florida, Georgia, Texas, and Michigan all heavily Trump right now with leads that are almost insurmountable for Biden. Biden winning Colorado, Biden winning the Northeast, Maine, Maryland, and Massachusetts, all Biden. Colorado, Biden. Trump winning the states that we would expect in the South: Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, and Tennessee, all Trump. Virginia still very much in play. Trump's got a huge double-digit lead with 50% or 30 or 40% incoming already. So it could be a Virginia vote. Florida, just too much for Biden to overcome. Pennsylvania, plenty of time for Biden to overcome, depending on who's reported. 95% in for Florida. Trump up by 3.5%, 180 or 90,000 odd votes. Not going to be surmountable for Biden. There's no way he wins Florida. North Carolina, a 0.8% difference for Trump and Biden with 10% left. Plenty of time for Biden to win North Carolina. It's going to depend on what cities have reported. Ohio, Trump up by exactly 5% with 75% in. So still possible for Biden to win in Ohio, but going to depend on the towns in Ohio that have reported. Georgia, way out of chance, almost 60% in, and a 12% lead for Trump. Georgia's all Trump, there's no doubt. Arizona, Trump losing pretty big, 8.7% with 75% in. I think Arizona goes Biden. Michigan, again, 11.3%, a double-digit lead with 33% reporting. Biden has a long way to go to win Michigan. I don't think it is winnable. So I would have to do a map. But if we assume that Trump holds these states, Texas, Georgia, Michigan, and Florida, that is most of the way there. If Biden picks up Arizona, which it looks like he will, and if he can squeak out North Carolina, he has a route. If he loses North Carolina, which he's down 0.8% with like 90% reporting right now, it is big, big trouble for Biden. Huge trouble. He cannot afford to lose Florida, Texas, Georgia, North Carolina, and Ohio and Michigan. He can't. That's the trifecta. Trump wins all of those. It is over. There is no coming back from that. And Biden is currently losing all of those states and down by significant amounts in 4 of those 6 and losing by less than 1% in 2 of those, but 90% in. So CNN and Real Clear Politics have pulled the win from Virginia. Trump can win it now. That is huge. Help me out. Is Virginia 13 electoral votes, 11 electoral votes, 13, something along those lines? I'm calling Virginia that, in my opinion, Trump is too far ahead in Virginia to lose Virginia. Even with only 40 or 50% reporting, that is a Democratic state that Trump is currently winning by 4.6, 6.6, 7.4%, with now 60% reporting in Virginia. Trump can win. Bear with me, guys. Just 1 second. I got to grab something. I'll be right back with you guys. Trump's locked down all the states. He's going to win this. He is going to win if it continues at the rate that it is continuing on. You guys, Trump is locking down states left and right. He's entirely too far ahead in at least 4 of these states, Texas, Georgia, Florida, and Georgia, and Michigan look to be out of reach for Biden. Now, that is not a guarantee for Trump, but it is a real good indication, if he holds on to those, of what's going to happen. The Republicans do pick up a Senate seat with Tommy Tuberville in Alabama. So the Senate race, back to where it started. The Democrats won one earlier. They have now lost one. So the Democrat-Republican Senate seat battle is right back to where it started. Remember, the Senate seats needed 4 pickups or 3 in the presidency, with Biden winning to close the Republican control in the Senate. And they have now lost one to the Republicans. They won one earlier, so it is now back to even. Thank you for coming over from the Facebook link. I appreciate that. I'm looking back now. I've got CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, and Real Clear Politics on ulterior motives suggestion up right now. Michigan is just a huge Trump lead. Yeah, so Ohio, a huge Trump lead with 83%. Trump up by 6.2% in Ohio with only 83%, or with 83% only 17% down, which means that would be almost insurmountable for Biden at that point. It looks like Ohio, it looks like Florida, Georgia, Texas, and Ohio are all going to go, and Michigan are all going to go Trump. That is humongous. Florida with 29 votes, Georgia with 16. If Trump gets this, 29 plus 16 Georgia votes, if he wins Michigan's 16 and he wins Ohio's 18 and Texas's 30, what do they got? 38, that is 117 votes not assigned to Trump. Trump has already secured 109. So those 117 that look like they're almost guaranteed to go to him puts him at 226, leaving him just 44 short. He's in the lead in North Carolina, and in Wisconsin would be the 25. He would be just 19 short, and any of the other states that haven't been called that he's almost guaranteed to get. So Virginia is still showing Trump ahead, and that would be nuts. It hasn't gone Republican. Somebody can help me with how long ago, but Virginia goes Democratic. And if he wins Virginia's 13 Democratic, you can pretty much sign off on Trump winning this election. I don't think there's an avenue with Trump now securing Florida pretty much all but called, and Georgia, Texas, and Michigan, all of those 4 states, Florida, Georgia, Texas, and Michigan. If he was to get the 5th one in Virginia, there'd be no route for Biden. It'd be over. So Trump building. I'm shocked at Trump winning Virginia if he wins Virginia. Shocked. But things are looking up for Trump right now. They are also on both CNN and Fox News reporting that Trump is overperforming in shocking fashion Latino and Latina votes, especially in Florida and Georgia, which there aren't a lot of Latinas in Georgia, I don't think. Somebody can help me with that. But I am mind blown about the Virginia vote. That's not even a state I would have remotely thought that he had a chance to win. And now it is shocking that he has even a remote chance of getting ahead in Virginia. So it is looking like there's no landslide. Everyone knows there's not going to be a landslide. Trump's not going to be able to squeak out more than the 306 that he won in 2016. Can he, with a Virginia win, it's certainly possible he squeaks his 305 to 310. But Virginia, a curveball. You're not surprised. Virginia's a curveball. Virginia, so those of you that don't know, I'm originally from the Southern Maryland area. When I grew up until I was 19 or 20 years old, the people that live in South Maryland, Rockville and Greenbelt and DC and Alexandria, Virginia, and all those areas, they're wealthy. That area is very, very expensive. A lot of politicians and senators' assistants and personal assistants and senators and congressmen and representatives all live in that area. It's very, very high priced. It is a very bad area. Suitland, Maryland, Greenbelt a little bit. There's some bad areas there, and it's a ghetto. But it is full of these rich politicians who typically lean towards the Democratic side. Virginia is very, very Democratic. But in recent years, a lot of tech companies have moved into that area. Alexandria, Rockville, Hampton Roads, and Newport News. There's military there. This is something that it surprises me. But now that I think about it, it doesn't surprise me. It's possible that these people leaned on Trump's, police and military side of things. I don't know. CNN projection, Biden to win New Mexico. That is not surprising. New Mexico takes 5 electoral votes. Hillary Clinton carried that state. The Senate control, Democrats at 40, Republicans at 38, with a lot of election to go. The House control, Republicans at 119, Democrats at 84. So we should see the Democrats maintain control of the House and the Senate to stay right where it is, with 1 up, 1 down. Senate Republican and Democrats going to go back and forth. I think it stays right where it is. New York City absolutely is a Democratic state. Tennessee also Republican. How you doing, Flippin' Hippos? Welcome in. So just to update you guys, the major swing states, Florida almost going to be a guarantee for Trump. Michigan currently up by 8.5% with 40% reporting. Looks like Georgia also going to fall to Trump. North Carolina is currently a 1% lead for Trump with 8% remaining, 92% in. Ohio, Trump up by 6.5% with 14% remaining. Looks insurmountable in Ohio. Texas, Trump up by 5%, almost 5% with 71%. Looks insurmountable. Wisconsin, Trump up by 2.5% with 50% in. Still a long way to go there. Arizona, Trump losing with 73%. He's down by 8.5. Looks like Arizona will go Biden. Kind of not surprised with that too much. Florida, Trump up by 3.5% with 92% in. Georgia up by 8.5% with 90% in. Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts gone. Louisiana, Kentucky, Kansas, all Trump. Michigan, Trump up now currently by 12.1% with 40% in, and Trump losing Minnesota. I sort of suspected Minnesota would be a loss. Nevada, no information. New Mexico going to Biden. Pennsylvania, Trump now up by 9.5% with 36% in. Pennsylvania too early, but that is a good lead. I don't know what counties are being reported. Helping out a friend here on a text. Give me just a second. So that's where we stand right now. Okay, so again, Florida is a 4.5 point difference with 93% in. looks to be insurmountable. So we'll give Florida is probably going to be Trump. Michigan, a 12.5% difference with 40% in. That's huge. I don't think that's surmountable. Nevada not reporting. North Carolina, a 1% difference for Trump with 8% to go. Ohio, a 6.5% difference, 6.6 with 87% in. That looks insurmountable. Texas, now at 3.8% with 71% in, still doable for Biden, but unlikely. Wisconsin is a Biden loss by 2.5% with 50% in, so leaning Trump that direction. Arizona leaning heavily 8.7% to Biden. Suspect that will go Biden, but Arizona not a huge one. And we're back to Florida and Georgia. Both Georgia 12% and Florida 4.5%. These all look insurmountable to me. Florida, Georgia, Texas, Michigan, and Michigan looks hugely insurmountable. North Carolina at 1% possible, but we'll see. Beyond those, those four insurmountable, North Carolina maybe, and Pennsylvania for Trump by 9.9% with 36% in. I don't know the cities, so that would be something I would have to pull the TV up on. Somebody would have to tell us that. What cities have reported. Philadelphia early voting and Philadelphia in-person voting were all reported before. Michael Caivano, I lived in Loudoun County, Northern Virginia for 10 years. You're 100%. Yeah, Loudoun County is expensive, man. So Biden gets the 4 votes from New Hampshire. That was expected. Trump winning his 6 votes in Utah, expected. Trump will win at least 3 of Nebraska's 5 electoral votes, most likely. So if you don't know, Nebraska allows electoral votes to be split. 2 of the 5 go to the winner of the state, which is going to be Trump. 1 electoral vote goes to the winner in each of Nebraska's 3 congressional districts. 1 of those hugely Trump, which gives him 3. The other 2 split. My guess is Trump wins 4, Biden wins 1 in Nebraska. Trump will win Kansas and Biden winning New Mexico. Trump with 6 in Kansas and Biden with 5 in New Mexico. So that is the latest updates, giving us a total 98 Biden, 95 Trump. However, Trump still has states out west, Utah, and other states that haven't been counted. Assuming Trump wins the 29 in Florida, which it looks like, assuming he wins the 16 in Georgia and the 16 up north in Michigan, assuming he's even going to pull out 20 in Pennsylvania, that's 176. Michigan, Texas's 38 puts him at 214, leaving him just 56 short with Virginia still in play, with North Carolina in play, with the Utah ones. It's looking really, really good for the Trump camp. If you're sitting in Trump's camp, if you're looking at Biden's camp, things are probably a little terrifying, especially considering you are losing all of these states. As I flip back over, Arizona seems to be the only one Biden really has picked up. Trump now officially winning Utah. I believe that's 5 or 6. So add that to the list, going to put him over 100. There's just a lot of states that I just don't think Trump is going to lose. So right now on Fox News is leaning, Arizona leans 89% Biden. I kind of figured that. It's leaning 71% Biden, Pennsylvania, but that was 80-some%. The overall win is leaning 63% Michigan for Trump and currently at 51% Biden to win the election. They have taken it all the way down from the mid-60s to 51%. Memphis and Nashville are the only usual cities in Tennessee that are dominantly Democratic. Correct. So most suburban major cities, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, Miami, Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina, Nashville, Memphis. These are the cities in the country that typically Trump will carry the country boys. He'll carry the outskirts, the country, all this stuff. The major cities are not Trump strongholds, and they're typically not Republican strongholds. And that's just the way that it is. Those cities tend to have more lower class, lower income. They tend to have people that are just not in, the bracket to vote Republican. And so that's how it leans. And so none of that's surprising. The facts come to how much does a Republican or Trump or whoever lose in the big cities? Can they make that number up out in the country? So that's what it boils down to. That, if they lose in Nashville by 100,000, they lose in Memphis by 50,000, and they're down 150,000 votes, can they pick up 150,000 votes when they win out in Johnson City, Tennessee by 20,000 votes, and out in the North Carolina border by 10,000 votes? They have to make those numbers up out on the outskirts in the country in the different areas. So that's where the numbers come from. And so far, Trump's doing phenomenally well in these outskirt areas. In fact, he is overperforming in a lot of areas. 2016 against Hillary, he's winning counties that he won by 10,000 votes. He's winning them now by 20 and 30,000 votes. So that is looking really good for the Trump camp, not so good for the Biden camp. So Pennsylvania, still hanging out. We've got Biden losing still by 12%. Virginia still marking Biden as the winner, and he's down 6.5% with 70% reporting. I don't know how you report that somebody's won a state that's losing the state by 6.5% with 80% or 70% reporting. Arizona, huge win for Biden. I know that was a big one for him. Florida is still not updating, but 92% showing in. So just 8% more to go there. Let's see. Let's flip the next script here. Michigan still 12.1% with 40% in. Trump still losing Minnesota. I'm going to give Biden Minnesota and Arizona. I have to say that I don't think there's a way that Trump can win any of those states, either of them. Nail on the head. Yeah. So let me pull up my own electoral map right now. So based on what is happening, if we give Florida, Georgia, and Texas, it puts Trump at 208. If we give Biden Arizona and we give him Minnesota, puts him at 224 to 208. It looks like Colorado will also go to Biden, so we can give him that one to 233. Now, it looks like Trump's going to squeak out North Carolina. And it looks like he might squeak out, or not, he's winning Michigan big. That puts us at 239 to 233. Now, New Hampshire went to Biden, so we can mark that off. So 239, 237. And then we have Nebraska, Trump winning 3, but I'm going to assume he wins one more on that one. And then we have to give the other one to Biden, the split one. That puts us at 240 to 238, Trump to Biden. That would leave us with Wisconsin, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Nevada, and Iowa. So I'm not sure on the Iowa and Wisconsin, but let's let this scroll through here and see exactly where we're at. So Wisconsin, 52% in, Trump up by 4.1%. We need to see Iowa. Is Trump is Iowa, right? That's all Trump. Is that pretty much a guarantee? Because I'll assign that to him. And then Nevada, which we have no analytics. Iowa, Trump is losing big. So we'll go ahead and assign Iowa to Biden. I don't know if that's going to work out, but we'll give Wisconsin to Trump, 250, 244. It would come down to a Pennsylvania, Ohio, Nevada. Nevada is probably a Joe Biden state, putting him at 250. And then we have Ohio and Pennsylvania, which currently, if it keeps trending the way that it is, we have, let's let it roll to the next page. We have one more page. Trump expanded his lead in North Carolina with less to go. So it looks like North Carolina says. Ohio, Trump up by 7% with 88% in, and Pennsylvania, he's up by 12%. He's winning in both of them, and as far as I know, he's got 250 to 250 as a tie if it comes down to Pennsylvania and Ohio. He would need to win Pennsylvania, and he would win, if he lost Ohio, would be a 270 to 268. If it flips the other way, it would be a Biden 270 to Trump 268. So I think Trump goes ahead and wins both of those states and wins this 288 to 250. That's kind of my call right now, 288 to 250 Trump. I believe that he's going to hang on to Florida, Georgia, Texas, Michigan, and Wisconsin. I say he wins Pennsylvania and Ohio. He's winning in both. This isn't even counting Virginia going to Trump or not. This is still, if we throw that up in the air, that leaves Biden even shorter. That would be a 301 to 237. I gave Biden Nevada. I gave him Arizona. I gave him Minnesota. I gave him Iowa. I gave him New Hampshire's votes, which he just won. I gave him all of those, but he's not going to win any more of the states. And we would have kind of a breakdown of this here. I gave him everything I could give him. Now, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, and Wisconsin, can Biden win one of those? Sure. Which one is most likely? It's looking like Michigan is a no-go, and it's looking like Ohio is a no-go for him. So it looks like Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. But if we go ahead and switch that over, give him Pennsylvania, he still only gets to 257 to 281. Yeah, so even if I give Biden, if I give him Arizona, Nevada, Colorado, New Mexico, Iowa, Minnesota, I give him all the New Hampshire votes and Pennsylvania, he still only gets to 257. And that's bearing that Trump hangs on to Florida, Georgia, Texas, which is all happening right now, winning North Carolina, which he just expanded to 1.2% with only 6% to go, and he gets a Michigan and Wisconsin win, which are both looking good right now. If that all happens, the only curveball would be Virginia, and as we have it as nobody winning right now, it would be 268 to 257 Trump versus Biden, and the 13 Virginia would put Trump at 281. If he loses it, he'd be at 268 and Biden would hit 270. So if Biden wins Pennsylvania and Virginia, he also has to win Nevada and Iowa and Minnesota. So it's a long road up for Biden from that. He'd have to win all of those if Trump hangs on to Florida, Georgia, Texas, and North Carolina, along with the Wisconsin, which he's ahead of, and Michigan, which he's ahead of. He's ahead in all those states. So it's looking like a tough road up. A very tough road up for the Biden campaign. I don't see any updates. I don't expect any updates until about midnight. They're expecting Biden to win Illinois and Trump to win Missouri. Absolutely a given. Milwaukee, Wisconsin will not report absentee ballots until 5 a.m., which is fine because if they do Wisconsin at 5 a.m., and the absentee ballots total like 10,000 and Trump's up by 30,000 or 40,000, it won't be enough to change it. They'll go ahead and announce the winner. So Pennsylvania looking to be the big player here. Virginia could be a turning point. Virginia could be huge if Trump can pull out a Virginia win. I mean, that's gigantic. Nobody would have ever expected that. Let me see where Wisconsin's hanging out now. In my entire life, I've never seen the news calling state to someone that's projected losers ahead almost 200,000 votes. Yeah, I don't even understand that. Virginia is still marking Biden as the winner, and he's down by 5.6%. Ridiculous. Wisconsin is a Trump lead. Trump leading Wisconsin by like 30 or 40,000. Biden wins New Hampshire, Trump, Utah. It just reset, though, right as I was about to see Wisconsin. So we'll get Wisconsin in a second. We'll get a Wisconsin update. So Wisconsin not planning on counting absentee ballots until 5 a.m. tomorrow. I don't think it's going to matter. If somebody's ahead enough in Wisconsin, I don't think it will matter. Just give us just a second here. We'll find out. North Carolina, Trump up 1.2% with 93% in. Almost done in North Carolina, Trump winning. Trump up 12.5% in Pennsylvania with 42% of the vote in. Looks like it's insurmountable for Biden unless everything left is Democratic, doubtful. He will make up some ground, but he is not going to win that state. Wisconsin, Trump up by 4.1%, 4.3% with 53% of the vote in. Looks like about 30,000 votes. Do not think Trump's going to lose Wisconsin. Even if the rest is Democratic, it's going to be a tough climb to make up 30 or 40,000 votes in that 40%. So all of these states that Trump is ahead in, it's a very big gap. Very, very big gap. All right. Okay, so yeah, so we've got all the states that were supposed to win, everything the way it was supposed to go, except Virginia going towards the Trump camp, which is bonkers. Again, he's winning by 5.6, almost 6%, with 60% of the vote in, and they're still marking it as a Biden win. I get it. A lot of late votes might be Biden, but I don't think it's going to be enough. So let's go ahead and just Google Virginia votes right now. Currently, 46.4% of the vote for Biden, 1.6% for Joe Jorgensen, and 52% for Donald J. Trump, leading with a vote count of 1.398, so 805,000, minus Joe Biden's 1.247, 166, a difference of 152,000 votes, with what looks to be 58% of the vote reporting in Virginia. The Associated Press has called this vote in this state for Joe Biden, which is bonkers. There is almost no chance he makes up a 3.6, a 6% deficit. 6% deficit in Virginia in 42% of the votes. And even if he does make up a 6% vote, a 5.6% vote, you cannot mark a state as one when the person who is supposed to win it is down 6% with 43% still voting. So I'm looking at the counties that are reporting, and it looks like Richmond, Norfolk, and Roanoke, which would be big cities, probably a huge amount of Democrats, are still to come in, but it is not reasonable to say that when your candidate is down 150,000 votes. Joseph R. Biden Jr. wins Virginia, race called by the Associated Press 2 minutes ago. I think that, they had Biden up by 50 and 28 and 68. This is not okay. The Democrat in Virginia, Mark Warner, did win re-election, by the way. You can't let even if it's, a bunch of Democratic votes, you've got to let them come in. And that's a big gap to make up. That is a huge amount of votes. So I'm on Twitter right now trying to see under trending what we have going on, because Twitter is pretty much your live stream, kind of thing. So the AP is reporting that Louisiana has passed Amendment 1, which establishes there is no constitutional right, this is big, to an abortion. So Louisiana saying there's no right to an abortion. Nobody calling Florida, everybody asking for Florida to be called. 2 Democratic House incumbents lost in Florida in Miami-Dade County. Multiple state legislative seats go blue to red. Trump cut the Democratic margin of victory by over half. Looks like it's going super slow. Yeah, things are going slow. The Republican, Elvira Salazar, has defeated her Democratic appointment in the House seat, Florida 27. Byron Donalds also wins his House seat in Florida. John James is winning his race in Michigan to flip the seat red. CNN now entering their Democrats were too optimistic phase of their coverage. Madison Cawthorn, the Republican in North Carolina, has won a congressional seat. The Democrats will retain enough seats to hold power. Ronnie Jackson is representative for Texas 13 congressional district. So everything looking, the Democrats were never going to lose the House, but not looking good for them. Trying to see an update here on maybe North Carolina, which is very, very close, and the Virginia update. I would love a Virginia update because we are seeing Fox calling Virginia for the Dems, but But it doesn't seem that way. It doesn't seem like Trump is going to lose Virginia. Yeah, most of the counties voted red, yet they're calling it. So we'll have to keep up with Virginia. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. Pretty crazy on the Virginia update. Don't know why. So let's go ahead and refresh our pages and see who we've called. Besides Biden winning, Biden winning California, 55 electoral votes. We know that. Still a lot of early votes to be counted in Pennsylvania. I don't believe that. Trump winning Missouri, Biden winning Illinois. We know that. Michigan leading Republican. Pennsylvania almost a dead heat. Arizona leading to Biden. And so we're going to probably mark Biden down for Arizona. Really not a lot moving, and I don't know that we're going to get a lot more results. It's 11 p.m. now, so it's 8 on the West Coast. They'll be able to mark Alaska and Hawaii, I suppose. But it's 118 to 108, Biden to Trump. But they haven't marked Florida, Georgia. Florida and Georgia alone are 39, 45 votes. So, I mean, that's 153 right there. It's a tough race. This is going to be a claw to see who can win. Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Michigan, really, but it looks like Trump's ahead in all of those. Just give me a second here. Okay, so Michigan. So what did I say? 16 in Georgia? And they haven't given Texas either, which is 38, 29 Florida, and 16. That's 83 votes, and Trump's already secured 108. So we know he's going to get 108 plus 29, 16, and 38. We know he's going to be at 191. Trump's going to have 200 without winning another state, plus Utah and the other ones. So what does he get? He wins Hawaii or Alaska? He wins Alaska. Hawaii votes Democrat. So Trump's over. They just gave Biden the California, Illinois vote, which puts him at 192. Biden's going to win 220 votes or 230 votes. They still have to schedule Oregon and Washington, and those two will go in. He's going to win Arizona. So another 20 or 30 votes going over to Biden. I wish they would announce Florida as the winner. There's no way that Florida is not going to go Trump's way. Arizona still Biden camp. Here we go. Florida, 2.2, 3.5 with 97% in, and 8% in Georgia with 90% in. So looks like both Florida and Georgia will stay in the Republican camp. Those will go to Trump. Michigan, Trump up by 6.3, 10.3, 10.4 with 50% of the vote in. Nevada, no reporting done. No reporting done. New Mexico leaning Biden. North Carolina, a 1.4% with 95% in now. Looks like definitely going to go Trump. Ohio, also 8% going to lean Trump. Texas, 4% with 73% in. So still too close to call on a few of them. Wisconsin, Trump up by 3.9% with 60% in. Looking good in Wisconsin. Wyoming to Trump bigly by 50% plus in Wyoming. California, 0% in. Biden chosen as the winner. Pretty much a given. Pretty much a given. Idaho over to Trump. Georgia still heavily Trump with only 5% to go. And I think that will be the end of Biden. He's going to lose Georgia and Florida without a doubt in my mind. It looks like he's losing North Carolina, and it won't be surmountable because all of the counties are in. So I mean, this is going the way everyone thought, but Trump, who had to win these 4 or 5 states, and by 4 or 5 states we mean Florida, Georgia, Michigan, Texas, you could call it Texas, I guess, and North Carolina is winning all 5 of those states. Florida, Georgia, Texas, North Carolina, and Michigan, he's winning all 5. Wisconsin leaning his way, Ohio leaning his way, and Pennsylvania right down the center, depending on the counties that have reported. I'll let you guys hang out for just a second. I am going to go use the bathroom, talk about it in the chat, and let me know what you think of all of these states. I'll be right back. All right. So, anybody, Trump ahead in Virginia around 170,000 votes. Insane that several news stations still calling Biden. Yeah. I don't understand the Virginia theory. They are in too much of a shock that they don't want to call it for Biden or for Trump in the event that Biden pulls it out. But at the end of the day, you at least have to put it in the toss-up, right? You can't just say Biden because you messed up. Like, just don't announce something because nothing is obvious. Can Biden become only the second Democrat to flip Arizona? Yeah, he's going to flip Arizona. I don't have any doubt in him taking Arizona, but he's losing Virginia. Trump carried it by 3% in 2016. It's just going to depend on how big the gap is, the vote, out in the Pinell County, Yavapai, Mojave County, Maricopa County is obviously going to go Biden Democrat. So we'll see. But it looks like Arizona. Let me see if I can pull up the Arizona vote right now. It looks like it's going to be Biden pretty solidly. I don't see anybody really taking on the percentage that they are losing by, that Trump is losing by in Arizona. I'm back to Oregon, which obviously Biden let it cycle through to Pennsylvania. Trump up by 12.4% with 50% in. There's no way Trump loses Pennsylvania. No way. Let the Arizona count come in here and we'll see where we're at. Wyoming, Trump called for Wyoming, of course, up 50%. Arizona, Trump losing by 8.5% with 73% in. Yeah, Arizona going Biden, no doubt about it. Arizona going the way of Biden. Raucous crowds have built at the Black Lives Matter Plaza outside of the White House as results start pouring in. Pretty scared if Trump is reelected, what that is going to turn into in front of the White House. It's going to be a scene. It's going to be a shit show. Vermont, Virginia still marked Biden, and he's down 6.2% with 65% in. How do you mark a winner that's down 6.5% with 65% in? Fox News finally prepared to project a winner of Florida of Donald J. Trump. It is finally 98% in, and Trump up 4.5%. Senator Graham keeps his South Carolina Senate seat. So Florida finally reported as Trump winning the state of Florida. I said it from the beginning. There's no way that Donald Trump loses Florida. Even if he wins the election, I would call fraud if he lost Florida. I live in Florida. I have been all over this area, county, state. It is just 1,000 to 1 Trump flags and Trump trains and Trump trucks and Trump banners and Trump signs and Trump boat parades and golf cart parades. And there's just no thing of Biden here. It just didn't exist. Biden just never had a chance in this state. And so Fox News reporting that Donald Trump has won the state of Florida. It looks like that's pretty much a given a little while ago. So that puts Trump at 148 and Biden at 207 with the California, Oregon, Washington counted. Now, assuming Trump's going to get the 38 from Texas and the 16 from Georgia, they look pretty big. That would put him at 202, and he's really far ahead right now in Michigan, which is 16, and North Carolina, that's 15, is 233. Montana will be his 3, which would be 236. He'll also get Alaska's 3, which puts him at 239. He'll be missing Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico. He'll get the other 2 from Nebraska, so he'll be at 241, needing 29 votes with the remaining Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin. Did I count those? Let me see. 38 from Texas, 16 in Georgia, 3 in Alaska, 2 in Nebraska, 3 in Montana, puts him at 210, 60 short. And it looks like he's also going to win Michigan and Wisconsin, and North Carolina is 251. He'll only need, but Ohio would only put him at 290. Iowa, Minnesota, it's still a fight. It's still a fight. I mean, Trump at 148 currently. If you add in his 3 from Alaska and getting the other 2 from Nebraska and 3 from Montana is 156. Now we know he's going to win Texas, and it looks like he's going to win Georgia. That's 210. He's still 60 short, and I'm giving the West Coast out there to the Dems. So we give him that Michigan 16 and North Carolina 15 is 241. He's still 29 short. He needs a Wisconsin win, which he's ahead in, which leaves him 19 short. He needs, and Ohio's not enough. He would need Ohio with a combination of Minnesota and Iowa, or he needs an outright Pennsylvania win, which he's ahead in. So it's still a uphill, not an uphill, it's an even hill battle. So yeah, plenty of ways for Biden to still win this because they're showing Biden at 207. So if we reverse this roll at 207, but we're also not including Virginia here. We're just gonna go out on a limb and say Virginia. So we know that Biden's gonna win the 4 Hawaii votes. He's gonna win 11 in Arizona, 5 in New Mexico, and 6 in Nevada, which give him 233, right? So if we just go out on a limb and say he wins Pennsylvania, that's 253. He really would need Ohio puts him over. Any combination of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa put him over. Michigan does not put him over. He's not winning Georgia and North Carolina, so those are gone. So he would need either with a Pennsylvania win and an Ohio win, or he would need a Pennsylvania win with a combination of the other two. So he's got a little bit of work to do. But both sites, CNN, Fox News, and now the Real Politics, are announcing Donald Trump as the winner of Florida. CNN just did it on their Twitter account. I expect the website to be updated soon. Fox News announcing Donald Trump has won Florida. So everyone announcing Florida as the winner for Donald Trump. So step one for Trump done. Florida marked off, step one. It is a nail biter, Boogie. It's a nail biter. So step one is Florida. I would say step two and step three. So step one was Florida. Step two is holding the South, Texas, Georgia, and North Carolina. It looks like he's going to do that. And step three was winning 2 of the 3 Rust Belt states, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Michigan. It looks like he's ahead in Michigan and Ohio, and could possibly hang on to Pennsylvania. He could win all 3. Record turnouts for the election, absolutely record turnouts. So people already on, I follow a very prominent YouTuber who is a Democrat. His wife is hugely Democrat. And she's saying the fact that this is so close is making me not even want to live here anymore. Okay, bye. Catch you later. Get out of here. Hasn't even lost or won yet. And is already saying, I don't want to live here. So just reading through all of this, people are losing their minds because Biden is losing a lot of big states right now. People really upset with the fact that Biden lost Florida. People really upset with the fact that he's losing Michigan as big as he's losing it, and North Carolina is about to close. Trump's lead shrinking in Virginia. Not surprised at all. Again, I didn't want to say Virginia was. I left Virginia over in Biden's column because I just didn't believe it. If Trump pulls Virginia out, it's an absolute shocker. I'm going to stay on with you guys till about 11:30 or 12 o'clock in order to see how far we get. I might lose my volume because I didn't charge these all the way because I did a live show before this, but. It would be a shocker for Biden to lose Virginia. But in future Republican elections, that's a thing to dawn on them. Okay, so the Virginia count is showing Biden still winning he's losing by 3% with 65% in. I can't see the count, but yeah. So I left Virginia in Biden's camp. I just don't care. I don't think Virginia is turning, but it's still 100,000 votes with 65% in is a lot. If it's all Democratic cities, then yeah, Biden will probably pull it out. But Trump wins Florida. That's the big announcement in the last 5 or 10 minutes. So. No real big updates. I don't know if any more big updates are going to come in pre-midnight. I mean, the 2 biggest updates we could get pre-midnight with Florida being off the table now is we can go ahead and close Georgia and North Carolina since they're East Coast. I'm just kind of sitting here waiting with stuff, pre-loaded on the iPad. Georgia and North Carolina closing would be, 31 votes over to Trump. If we could close Texas, if we could close any one of the Rust Belt states of Michigan, Ohio, or Pennsylvania, that would be good. Let's go ahead and just mark Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico over to Biden. Let's mark Montana and Alaska to Trump. Let's mark Hawaii to Biden, and let's get those things out of the way so we know exactly where we are. I don't think that we have an update from anyone beyond what we've already had. Trump winning Mississippi with 6 electoral votes. We know that. It puts us at 192 to 108, it looks like. So, yeah, we're pretty much where we started tonight, knowing that it's going to come down to about 5 states. And with Florida, Georgia, and Texas going to Trump, North Carolina going to Trump, and Mississippi going to Trump, it looks like it's going to come down to Pennsylvania. Michigan going to Trump even, and Wisconsin, maybe Ohio. We'll see. In fact, some of my new neighbors are actually texting me. All my new neighbors texting me, asking what I'm doing if I'm watching. So we'll see. What have you may have said tonight, Star? I missed what you may have said tonight. Fox still not reporting, but big crowds building all over the country. Big crowds building. So I may end up just going to bed, not going to bed to go to sleep, but sitting in bed, comfortable, pillows, turn the TV off, Tylenol, no headaches, eating some snacks, and just watching the end of this. I want to report it for you guys. It's 11:30 at night. My problem is this might end up being 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning before we get a result. I don't expect any results in the next hour to hour and a half. We may close some of these states, but we're not going. Yeah, Fox News now reporting that Biden will win Arizona. I put that over in his column a long time ago. We're good with that. This is definitely not going to be an hour result. It's not going to be 2 hours or 3 hours. This certainly could be at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And with Pennsylvania not reporting everything until late tomorrow, if it comes down to a PA, like a 268 to 266 or 268 to 240, and whoever wins the 20 vote or 250, whoever wins the 20 votes wins, could be the PA in game. So we're going to have to wait and see for that. I wish they would move that Virginia out of Biden's camp at least long enough for us to see who's actually going to win. We don't know, but in a second, I'm going to have the results rolling through. It's at Missouri, so we'll see that Virginia update in just a second. I do want to see what the count is in the Virginia one. New Mexico, Biden winning. Nevada, still no results. Oregon, Biden. New York, Biden. Pennsylvania, huge lead for Trump with 50% in Pennsylvania. It can be tough to overcome. There's the Virginia. Biden down by 3% with 65% in. I don't know the numbers. Let's go ahead and see if we can't pull a Virginia election numbers live. Let's just see if we can't pull something up here. So according to the current vote, with 62% reporting through this one, we have Biden, we have Trump with 1.44763 minus Biden's 1.359301, about 90,000, 86,000 votes difference with 62% reporting. So getting closer. It looks like a lot of major cities not reporting either. So it does look like Biden will hang on to Virginia, but it was a good hope, but it was also a shocker that Trump kept it that close. So I don't expect any kind of answers between now and, I mean, it's 11:30. We're not going to get answers between now and 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. So definitely not. Definitely not. So with that said, how long should I hang on with you guys to see if there's any kind of results? If wins, this isn't a world I want to live in, purposely keeping personal politics out of the statement. Oh, God. Yep, Virginia is going to go Biden, pretty sure, but Florida goes to Trump. So I'm going to go sit in bed and watch this. I'm going to leave you guys with the updates that it looks like with Biden getting Arizona, Trump getting Florida, Biden probably hanging on to his Virginia by the skin of his teeth, Trump probably getting Texas, Georgia, and North Carolina. Definitely getting at least Michigan, if not Michigan and Wisconsin. Biden getting New Mexico, Arizona, and Nevada, and Hawaii. Trump will get Alaska and Montana. Minnesota and Iowa are a flip up. Excuse me. And then Ohio leaning towards Trump right now, and Pennsylvania sitting on the edge. North Carolina, Georgia should go for Trump. So we're going to come down to those two Rust Belt states, Ohio and Pennsylvania. If Trump hangs on to Ohio, keeps Texas, Georgia, North Carolina, Montana, and Alaska, it will leave him needing just one. A Pennsylvania is an instant win. A Wisconsin-Minnesota combination is an instant win. And Iowa with either Wisconsin or Minnesota would be, or with Michigan, Wisconsin, and Iowa would be an instant win. If he takes Minnesota, which I doubt he will, that's going Biden, it would be an instant win as well. But he doesn't need Minnesota. He doesn't need Iowa. He can still win with Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan combo without winning Wisconsin. He would just need to hang on to North Carolina, Georgia, and Texas, along with his Montana and Alaska. Looks like he can do it. You know, the count right now is close, but as soon as they announce Trump winning Texas, Georgia, and North Carolina for a total of 69 votes, that will be tough for Biden to come back from, especially when you add in the 3 Alaska, which puts him at 72, and 3 Montana, 75 more votes headed over towards Trump. I'm going to leave the live show. I appreciate you guys watching as long as you did. Appreciate everyone being here. Good luck to whomever you voted for. Thank you for voting. Cheers to everyone. And we'll update this tomorrow with the winner. And maybe if I stay awake long enough, I'll come back on and post another video. So let's keep an eye out for it. Go watch the channels, comment on the video below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.